Good evening, teasers. How's everyone doing today? Hello, hello, hello. Hello there in the clouds. How are you guys doing? Feel free to step down if you like. Hey, Monique. Hey, Amina. How's it going today? How y'all doing this evening? Y'all doing okay? Yes, Amina. Yes. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, we are going to discuss a very serious story this evening. Um, this story actually just hit this afternoon, and I wanted to bring it to you all so you all can see it, and we can touch on it. Hey, night today, Safe, and how's it going? How's happy Friday, everyone? How's everyone Friday going? Okay, I hope so. I hope so. Hey, Nisi, how are you doing? Yes, hello there. I just wanted to give it a little more time, guys, and try to see if someone else comes in. If not, then we'll go ahead and get the video started, shall we? It's the let's greet entertainment tea uncut. Hello there, ma'am. How are you doing? Not today, saying you beautiful lady. How are you doing? Let me go ahead and start here. I thought I seen Caramel. Yes, hi Caramel. How are you doing? Wonderful. Again, thank you guys for coming back to my channel. I appreciate it. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you are not subscribed. It will help us out a lot, guys. Also, you can support the channel if you like. The Cash App is on the screen. Okay, great. Again, today's story, guys, is a very serious story. It just hit the news today. However, this particular story actually started a year ago, and we'll get into that, okay? I'm going to place a picture here to show you who we are discussing. These are the folks that we are discussing right now. That beautiful little baby there, we have the mom, the baby, and the husband in that particular picture, right? Looks like a very happy family, right? Very happy family. However, devastation has hit this family, guys. Devastation has hit this family. The beautiful baby, his name is Kieran Jones. Is he not beautiful? He is the most gorgeous baby. Is he not the most gorgeous baby? He is the most gorgeous baby. Um, hey, in my opinion, how are you doing? Thank God it's Friday. Absolutely. So he is a beautiful baby. His name is Kieran Jones. He's only 2 months years old. 2 months old, rather. Um, let's get into the story, shall we, guys? I'm going to go ahead and remove them right quick, and I'm going to share the screen, okay? Yeah, this is a very sad story. It really was sad. Two particular ways. Actually, it was two cases. It started off as one case, but it ended up being as two. Let's see here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this. It says here, couple gets arrested. I'm sorry. No, this is a different story. Excuse me. Different story. That was what I was going to bring to y'all earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and do a video on this one as well. And it's called Shopping While Black 2. So we'll get into that this evening as well. Again, this story is very sad. It started off a year ago. Okay, guys, about a year ago. We're going to go ahead and go into the article. All righty, let's take a look here. Okay, you guys can see the article there. It says DC woman who says she threw out son's body allegedly stabbed to death by baby father. Okay, by baby's father. So, again, I'm going to read this again, guys. It says DC woman who says she threw out her son's body allegedly stabbed to death by her baby's father. Okay, now let's get into the article, shall we? Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you so much. Let's get into this article. Now, it says here, sorry, my glasses. It says a woman was found stabbed to death in Northeast DC Wednesday, nearly a year after admitting to putting the body of her dead 2-month-old son in a dumpster. The man arrested for her killing was the father of the baby, authorities said. Okay. Now, I wanted to get into the first story about the child first. So I'm going to stop screening here, sharing this one, and we're going to go to the next slide. Okay. Okay. Let's get more into it. Okay. So we're going to start off with the slide where it initially started. It says, mother who said she threw out son's body allegedly stabbed to death, okay, by the father. Oh, this crap is in my way. Wasn't in my way earlier, guys. Stand by. Hold on, y'all. Anyway, this young lady, approximately a year ago, she was under the influence, okay, guys? She was under the influence of some type of narcotic, okay? Some type of substance. I can't say the substance name, but it was one of the really, really, really deep substances, okay, guys? It was a substance that would make you kind of hallucinate, pretty much go crazy, okay? She, at that particular time, a year ago, she had her newborn baby. He was only 2 months old. He's Kieran Jones. He was only 2 months old. The only thing that she can recall is that she had the baby on her chest sleeping. That's the last thing she remembered about the baby, okay? But when she woke up, the baby was not breathing when she woke up. So the baby was already gone. He was already deceased when she woke up. So she didn't really understand, but come to find out, she actually laid on the baby and smothered it, okay? Now, when you're on these different types of substances, a lot of those folks, they don't know what they're doing, okay? It depends on what type of reaction they would have from these substances, okay? So in this case, she was out of it. She had the baby on her chest, letting the baby sleep, but she accidentally laid on the baby. She said she erroneously laid on the baby, on top of the baby, and smothered him. That's where she's gathering from what could have happened. Now, once she found out that the child was not breathing, folks, she took the child and wrapped him up in some blankets and stuff and just walked to the dumpster and placed him into the dumpster. She placed the child in the dumpster. He was 2 months old. And as you can see how beautiful this child was, he was 2 months old. She placed that little pretty thing right there in the dumpster. 2 months old. She said she panicked. She panicked when she seen that he was not breathing. So she in turn wrapped him up and took him to the dumpster. Now that's very sad. It's very sad that she took him from the dumpster. I mean, put him in the dumpster. It's very sad that she did this. So basically after that, she reported the child missing. This case actually was it was nationwide. It was a nationwide story. I did not hear about this a year ago, but they said it was a nationwide story. It was covered US wide. They were looking for the child because she reported the child missing. Finally, she told one of the advocates the truth, that she laid on the baby. She erroneously laid on top of the baby as she slept. The baby slept and she smothered him. Beautiful as this child is, okay? Beautiful as this child is. Ma'am, first of all, how can you do substances while your child is that little? He was only 2 months. So what would put it in your mind to even do some type of substance and you have a newborn baby and you're there alone with this child? I don't understand that. I can't understand that. Can any of you comprehend that? Let me take a look at the chat. Entertainment Cut says, I don't believe her story. I've seen it happen before, guys. I've seen it happen where a young lady, it wasn't the young lady, it was actually the babysitter. She and her boyfriend went to the store and they left the child in care of his brother. The brother, he was on it too, and he accidentally sat on the child, but he was a very heavy guy. So they found the child deceased when they came back. So it has happened before where someone laid on a baby or sat on a baby, newborn. And this baby Kieran was premature. He was 2 months old, but he was a very tiny baby. He was premature. Okay, he was premature. Caramel said, good Lord. Hey, Junebug, how are you doing? Caramel says panicking is no excuse to dump your baby. It's not an excuse. It seemed that if when she found the child not breathing, she should have snapped out of whatever she was in, right? But that's the problem. These substances, they have these people, they make these people act this way. It depends on what type of substance it is and the reaction you have. So she probably had that I don't give a damn attitude reaction until she got out of that. When she became sober, then she realized my child is gone. I put my child in the trash. She had sense enough to report the child missing, though, did she not, guys? She had sense enough to report this child missing. He's a beautiful, beautiful baby. T Uncut says, I've heard that before, but most don't trash their child. Right. They don't trash their child. Usually they'll call the paramedics. They'll try to save them. They'll call the police to save them, do CPR. But this young lady did not. She took the child to the trash. To the trash. How can you live with yourself? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Let's move on, shall we? Let's get into the article. Now, the article says DC woman who says she threw out her son's body, allegedly stabbed to death by the baby's father. Did y'all hear that? The baby's father. The baby's father. Now, this is a year later. She was still awaiting trial for what she had done to the baby. And they did not charge her initially with MURDR because they never found the child's body. They never found the child's body. So they only charged her with like tampering with evidence and something small. So I guess the child's father was like, what? No, ma'am, you're not going to get away with this one, ma'am. This is my son. You understand? That's what happened. Let's get into the article. The article says a woman was found stabbed to death in Northeast DC Wednesday, nearly a year after she admitted to putting the body of her dead 2-month-old son in the dumpster. The man arrested for her KILLING was the father of the baby. Okay. The man that was arrested was the father of the child, Kieran. Her name is LaDonia Boggs. She was 39 years old, guys. She was found deceased in the doorway of an apartment in the 1500 block of Benning Road, Northeast, just before 3 a.m. She had suffered an apparent stab wound, DC police said. The young man that did this to her, well, middle-aged man, his name is Carl Jones. Carl Jones, 44, of Northeast DC, is charged with second-degree MURDR while armed, authorities said. Detectives said the crime was domestic in nature. They said it was domestic in nature. So I'm assuming that this in nature was the fact that he already known that she had did something with their child, and it looks as if she was probably going to get away with it. She probably was going to get away with not doing a lot of time at all because they never found the child. I'm assuming the trash company came, got the trash, and hauled the child off. It says in May 2021, Boggs' infant son, Kieran Jones, was reported missing. The case was widely publicized. A week after his disappearance, Boggs said in an interview with a missing persons advocate that she rolled over on the baby while sleeping in bed. She rolled over on the baby while sleeping in the bed. Let's see what this video has to show, guys. Isn't he just gorgeous? He's so gorgeous.
Today, a strange twist in the search for a missing 2-month-old in the district. A community activist posted video of the child's mother saying her baby died while sleeping with her, and she says she put the child's remains in the trash. News 4's Mark Seagraves takes us through the video.
This Facebook Live video shows LaDonia Boggs, the mother of 2-month-old Keon Jones, telling a reporter her baby stopped breathing while they were lying in bed together.
When I was asleep, rolled over, noticed that he was unresponsive, breathing, and I panicked.
In the video, the mother continues to explain what happened, at times rambling and repeating herself. She says she panicked and put the baby's remains in a trash dumpster.
And got a blanket and his car seat and wrapped up and took it outside. and disposed it in the trash. And that's what happened.
The video was recorded a few days ago by Henderson Long, a community activist who runs DC's Missing Voices, and posted it on his Facebook page. Long tells News 4 he was shocked when the mother started providing such disturbing details.
This is so sad. Nobody wins. This actually shows that she has some humanness about her.
Police sources familiar with the investigation tell News 4 the account the mother gives in the video is similar to an account she gave police, which led them to search this landfill in Virginia. Mayor Bowser, who told reporters several days ago that the mother is the only person of interest being questioned by police, declined to provide any further update today.
Sadly, you're referring to a child that MPD continues to investigate his whereabouts and what happened to him.
Sources tell News 4 police have searched the mother's apartment as well. In the district, Mark Seagraves, News 4.
Such a sad story. We attempted to reach out to the mother, LaDonia Boggs, but did not hear back. Henderson Long, the community activist who recorded that cell phone video, told News 4 he gave the video to DeMise.
Okay, guys. As y'all can see, what happened. Monique said, I agree. She said, Monique said she called the baby an it. She did. She called her child an it, guys. She called her child an it. In it. She didn't even call him my son, a person. She referred to the child as it. Which means that she really had no emotional tie to the child, it seemed. Correct, guys? Seemed like she had no type of emotion for the child, as if the child was trash, as if the child was nothing. She said she put it in the trash. And Eve Monique caught that. I caught it as well. Caramel says, how can they prove she's telling the truth without a body? True. That's the reason why she was only charged with what? Some small stuff, possibly tampering. She may get off. She may get off because they never found his body. She may get off. You're right, Marva. She's sick. She's sick. She never was charged with murder. She never was charged with that. She never was charged with that. She was charged with tampering and some other charge. Let's see what it is. Let me shut the screen again. This is so sad. This beautiful, beautiful baby, beautiful child, gone. Make sure you guys can see it. Yes. Let's continue with the article. She says here, he was asleep on my chest, and when I woke up, he wasn't breathing anymore because he was just that small. He was only 2 months old. He was a premature baby, she said. He was a premature baby. He's very tiny, but he looks like he's a little healthy there, and he's very beautiful. He's a very beautiful boy. It says, Bob said she panicked and felt afraid. Really, ma'am? You panicked and you felt afraid. Seemed like you would have contacted the police, an ambulance, called 911, someone to help you. Why would you? The first instinct you have is to put the child in the trash. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I do feel bad that she did lose her child. However, her actions thereafter were just pitiful, trifling. Trifling is the word for it. Let's continue. She said, I came back in the house and got a blanket in his car seat and wrapped it up and took it outside and just threw it in the trash, she said. Officers and the cadaver dog searched a landfill in Charles City County, Virginia, but they never found the baby's body. They tried to find him, but they never found him. He was so little. And you never know what was in that trash, guys. It could have been animals out there in that trash. You just never know. She says Boggs was eventually charged with tampering with evidence and was awaiting trial in the case. Tampering with evidence, guys. That's all she was charged with. Tampering with evidence. Tampering with evidence. That's it. Let's look at the comments again here. Monique say, do you think she may have sold the baby? No, I really think she did this. I do think she did this, Eve. I think she did this. She was high on a specific substance that makes folks hallucinate really terribly, and they have a tendency to take off all their clothes, and they have a tendency to think that Satan is after them with this particular substance. Okay. Not today. Satan says, y'all, I love you all, but I can't with this ever since the Susan Smith. Oh, yes, I remember Susan Smith. I do remember her. I remember her. I do recall anybody will recall Susan Smith's story? But this story is not the same. It's not similar to the story because there's different circumstances. Susan, she blamed her incident, her children's demise on someone, on a black man that she made up. She made up a suspect in her case. But all along, she had done it. We know this. She had done it. She's now on death row. Susan is on death row. I recently seen her on television, and she's gotten really thick, and she's old. She's an older woman now. All behind a what? Man. Susan did hers behind a man. Caramel says, CPR instructions from 911. Yes. That's what she could have gotten. CPR instructions from 911. She could have called 911, but she did not. The first thing she thought of was, her mind told her to do, was to wrap the baby up and throw him away as if he was a piece of junk. Really, ma'am? And she admitted it. So I'm not sure why they still did not arrest her, because she did admit it. But I guess since they did not have a physical body, she got away with it. She got away with it. Angie said, hey, y'all. I'm like, hey, Angie, how are you? Marva says, I remember that. And not today. Say, much love to you. Just too much. Understand? These people should never have a chance to mother again. Right. Everyone does not need a child. Correct, guys? Everyone does not need a child. Everybody's not made to be a mother. Everyone is not made to be a mother or a father or parent, period. But you see, in this case, the father loved his child, and he was not having it. He was not having the fact that she did this to his child. He was not having it. He was not going to let her get away with it. So what did he do? He went in there and he what? Took care of the business with her. He did. And I've seen this over and over again. I've seen stories like this over and over again. He went and took care of the business with her. She thought she was in the clear. You were in the clear probably, man, with the criminal charges. However, you were not in the clear. You were not in the clear with his dad, with his daddy. You were not in the clear with him. It's just like us as mothers. A father would not be in the clear if he was to do that to our child, right? We would probably react like the dad, crazy as hell. Because you'll snap when it comes on your kids, right? It's a natural instinct. It's just natural for us to snap when something happens to our children, right? Not today says no, but it's just, but the baby's still gone. Yes. Yes. And I honestly, not today saying I could not see stories like this previously. I could not. But I had to bring this to the platform because I want folks to know that if you don't have any kids and you don't want any kids, please don't have them. If you don't want any kids, don't have them. Because if you have a child and you don't want it, what that means, you're going to be miserable, you're going to be depressed, and then you're going to end up doing something to that child. If you don't want kids, don't have them. That's all I'm saying. But it also should come, if you do decide to have a child, it also should come natural for you to love the child. The love should come natural. It's called an unconditional love for children. It should come natural. Natural. You don't have to force yourself to love the child. As soon as you see that baby, you should fall in love with it as a mother. But you have some mothers out here that don't. You have women out here that do not. And it's sad. It really is sad. And some of them, they need help. They need help because the mind, they just need help. They do. Monique said, thanks, Caramel. She said, it bothers me that they didn't find the body, especially since he was also in a car seat. He was so little. He was a tiny child. And they say she said, I will be the demise of our MF. Facts. Mess with my kids or grandkids. That's right. It will be automatic. It will be automatic for us to do that. It will be we'll just snap if you are a true mother. And some mothers won't react that way, but you will react reasonably. You will act reasonably. You will not throw your child in the trash. You just won't. You will be trying to do CPR and don't know how to do CPR. You will be trying to do it. You will do what you see on television, right? Right. Let's go back to the story. She says after she did this, after she says she panicked, felt afraid. She says, I came back in the house and got the blanket in the car seat and I wrapped them up and I took them outside and threw them in the trash. She said, officers, that's the cadaver dog. So hold on. It says, Boss was eventually charged with tampering with evidence. We know this, and she was awaiting trial. However, the child's father was not having it, like I said. Police are investigating Boss' death and said it is unknown at this time if it has anything to do with her son's death. Oh, yes, it does have something to do with that son's death. Oh, you better believe it has something to do with that son's death. You better believe it has something to do with that son's death. They're saying that it's unknown. Put a lip gloss in the chat. You think it has something to do with the son's death? I know it has something to do with the son's death. This is a very sad story. And she was 39 years old. She should have known better. I'm not sure if she had any other kids. Point of the matter is, she was old enough to know better. And you are old enough to know better to do some type of substance when your child is only 2 months old and he's a premature baby. It's just sad. It really is sad. As Not Today Satan said, I would do the folio if something happened to my kids. It's just natural. It's just a natural instinct, guys. It's just natural. Am I right? Am I right? Let's take a look at the picture again. This is the young man. This is Mr. Carl Jones, 44 years old, guys. He's 44 years old. He took Miss Boggs and let her know, no, ma'am, you're not going to get away with this. No. That baby is so precious. How could you do that? I just don't understand it. I guess it's not for us to understand, but it seemed like the courts would have, or the police would have charged her with, they've charged folks with making folks meet their demise without a body, have they not? They've done that before, right or wrong. They've done that before, where they've charged someone for murder without a body. They have. So why they didn't do it in this case, especially since she admitted to it? It says, Carmel says she probably did TRuGS when she was pregnant. Probably did. But if she was doing that, if she would have went to the emergency, if she would have went to the hospital and had that child, and they would have tested her. They would have tested her right then and there. That's what they do when you have a baby. They test you for that. They test you for, HIV, all kinds of stuff. And if there's anything in your system at the time that child is born, hold on one second. Thank you. If there's something in your system when you have that child, CPS immediately comes in there and get that child, Caramel. They come in there and get that child. They come in there and get that child right away. And if you have any other kids, they take your other kids as well, Caramel. Just FYI, they take your other kids as well. Just think, I had a baby 8 years ago. They test you for everything throughout your pregnancy. They do not play when it comes down to substances being in your system when you have a baby. They call CPS immediately. Once that baby come out, guess what? CPS comes in right on in and grab it up and bye-bye. With that child. They get your child immediately. And if you have other kids in the house, you get them too. This story really shook me. It shook me. Like, as I said, I was going to come on here today to talk about shopping while black too, TOO. But when I saw this story, I was like, oh my goodness, this is horrible. I bet she never thought that he would do this to her son's father. She probably never thought he would do that. I personally didn't think he would do it either. He waited a whole year. But he loved his child. Caramel says, I didn't know that. I'm glad they test for DRU. Yes, they do, Caramel. The beginning, through it, and at the end, they do. They do. Anyone have any questions about this particular story? It is a sad story. It is. It started out one little life missing, gone, and then here comes the mother's life. She's gone now. From a single homicide to a double. So both of them gone. That is really sad. Caramel says, Daddy snapped. Yes, he did. He did like a mother would do. He snapped. He snapped. He snapped. You're absolutely right. He snapped. This story is very trigger warning, you know. It is. It's trigger warning. I don't know why my banner was not up there, but it's trigger warning. You know, for this guy, for this woman to do this to her child. So basically, I want to say is that everyone does not need to have kids. Everybody is not made to be a mother. It's the truth. Everyone's not made to be a mother. Very sad. She said, I didn't know that. I had great tech. They test. I didn't want to come on here long with this story, but I wanted to bring it to you all. It's sad. It's very sad, guys. Just think, you know, protect your kids. As I always say, protect your children. Protect your home. And if you don't want any kids, don't have any kids, guys. Don't have them if you don't want them. Because it's only going to make you very depressed and sad in the end. Hey, Don, how are you? We were basically talking about a young lady. Let's recapitulate. A young lady had a beautiful 2-month-old child named Kieran Jones. Kieran Jones was a premature baby. The mother got high on some type of substance one night. She had the baby on her chest. She says she erroneously laid on the baby and smothered him. You're very welcome, Caramel. And smothered him. However, upon her finding out that this child was smothered, she, instead of her calling 911, she said she panicked. She wrapped the child up in some blankets and things, and she went and tossed him in the dumpster as if he was a piece of trash. She did. She said she was scared. She got panicked. She was afraid. She was 39 years old. Seemed like she would have known better. She was 39 years old. She did this. Now, the police, this story became a worldwide, national-wide story. I didn't hear of it, but this happened a year ago. However, recently, they found the mother deceased. So, mom was deceased. Come to find out, dad made the mom meet her demise. He made her meet her demise because what? His child. She had MURDER'd his child. The reason why I think he did this to the mother is because she was going to get away with it. They did not charge her with the initial charge that what she should have been charged with, which we know what it is. They only charged her with tampering with evidence because they could not find a body. By the time they looked for the baby, he was already gone to the field. They searched the field, but they still did not find him. 8-1 now. They searched the field and they could not find him. Therefore, they only charged her with tampering with evidence. Now, the father snapped, as Caramel said. The father snapped and what? Did her. She was 39 years old. So now Mr. Carl Jones, who's the father, is incarcerated for making the mother meet her demise. This is a year later, after the son came up missing, because she initially reported him missing. They were looking for the child, but they kind of figured that the child was deceased. Just couldn't prove it. She even admitted to the fact that she did this to this child. She admitted to making the child meet his demise. However, they still did not charge her with MURDER because they did not find his little body. But again, I have seen it where they have charged folks for MURDER if they don't have a body, without a body. They have charged people. I'm not sure why they didn't charge her. She did admit to it, but they did not charge her. They just charged her with tampering with evidence, which she was not going to get any time for. Probably was going to give her time served. Most likely she was going to get time served. Again, I've seen stories like this where the father has snapped on the mother for doing something to the children, which is a natural reaction from a parent. It's a natural reaction. It should have been a natural reaction for her to call 911 when she didn't feel a child breathing. But again, she was under the influence. So I guess being that she was under the influence, she really wasn't thinking sensibly. So she just tossed him. He was so gorgeous. I'm going to show his picture one more time. This is her, LaDanya Boggs, and this is the baby. His name is Kieran Jones, and that's the father, Carl Jones. Carl Jones took care of her because she did not take care of his child. What she did to his child. He was not playing with her. And she's 39 years old with a piercing in her lip and underneath her lip. Ma'am, you're almost 40 years old. I'm just saying. So, like I said, this is a very sad story, guys. It is. I hope you all like this video. Even though this is a sad story, like the video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. But this is a true crime. And this was a senseless crime too. Both of them really were senseless crimes. It's like all three of them, the whole family is just lost. Gone. The whole family's gone. Mom, baby, and dad. Dad will be gone for years, most likely. For years. Yes, Don, it's very sad. It is absolutely sad. Anyone have any questions about this particular story? I will be coming back on to discuss Shopping While Black 2. Otherwise, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. What state this is in? And let's take a look here. I think it is, let me just double check the story here. I'm sorry, it was in DC. It was in DC. Don, DC. Yes, wasn't Texas. You know how we do it now here in Texas. It was not Texas. Tawana says, good evening, all. Happy Friday. Have a safe and blessed week. You too, Tawana. We love you. I love you all so much. Thank you all for joining me. Again, I will be back here shortly with another video. Like the video, subscribe. Thank you, Caramel. Share this content if you can, okay? It's real. It's real out here in the world. Everyone, please like the video before you leave, and I appreciate it. Everyone, have a fantastic evening. I will see you all shortly. Hopefully, you will return, okay? Thank you. Good night, guys. See you shortly. Bye-bye now.